how to think about having more space in chess. This is what this video will be about, how to think when you have more space, what to look for, and what not to do will be the topic. We are going to use the game I played in 2004 from the Bundesliga. It's Sune Berg Hansen versus Heiko Machelett. I think he's a German IM and a very friendly guy, by the way. So sorry, Heiko. I am white and opening with e4. This is all the open Sicilian. He uses the Khan variation, and we go into more of a, well, Taimanov, and this is the pure Taimanov variation. This is not played very much because in general it's believed that the position that are resulting from this is simply better for white. Mark Taimanov had very good results with this variation with black, but that was not due to the variation, but due to that he's a very strong player. And this is this is what you say causality is what comes first, and usually a very strong player will have pretty good results with almost any opening. That doesn't mean you or me can copy it, and Heiko neither. Anyway, what's black's idea? Black's idea is to take and play knight c6 and say okay, and then he will develop the queen side with b5, bishop b7, rook c8, and knight a5, trying to create counterplay on the queen side. And then when white is having trouble there, he will finish his development. What's the probably smartest answer to that is to avoid the exchange, because, and this is a very important thing, when you have a space advantage, you in general don't want exchanges. And why is that? That is because you have more room to maneuver. Your pieces have more room. So you will, black will have difficulties shifting from side to side, and you will do that easily if you have more room. So that's Lebensraum, as it's called, is a very good thing for the pieces. So don't exchange them if you have more space, and if you are, unless it can lead to some other kind of advantages, which we'll look at. But in general, keep the pieces on the board with more space. That's a pretty good rule of thumb. It doesn't always apply, but in general, it's a good rule. Knight d6, that's where the knight is going, and the knight is kind of good there in some aspects. But okay, it makes a lot of sense that there will not be much for this bishop to do on this diagonal with the knight here and black's pawns on white. So why not put it on d2, and if you look at it, white is actually putting a lot of pressure on the queen side. And this is one of the things that we in general chess players have realized, that in the Taimanov white has an advantage on the queen side, not black. White was just too occupied attacking on the king side to just start playing on the queen side. Okay, and here I made a little smart move. Played knight a4 with the idea, and I can say that that someone, and this is actually very smart, and I think bishop e7 was bad. The problem is this, and I don't, and maybe it's this. Maybe you can just go something like this. So, but still here white has a big advantage. So black doesn't like this, but after this he's even more cramped, because it was this b pawn was supposed to give him dynamic counterplay. Rook b8, f4, taking away this square from the knights. d6, and white is of course already better and has a big advantage in space. And it's we see that if the knight was on f6, then we could just go here and attack this knight. But on g6, it has to go to f8, d7, and then attack. So this is what he probably will have to do. at some point because this knight is really annoying for him. Anyway, the important thing for white to remember here, he has a huge space advantage, and he want to make it a permanent advantage. I've talked a little bit about that earlier, that in the transformation of advantages, in general, you would like to make a temporary advantage into a permanent advantage, unless you can create a direct attack, then you want to do that. Anyway, okay, queen d2, taking control over this square and getting ready for the rook to enter the fray. Queen c7, bishop d2, rook d8, and I'm in general I'm very wary that he would love to do something about getting his pieces out. So he does. I'm making sure that this move is not good. This is the important thing. This move should not be good. And he could do it in combination with something like bishop b4. So I have to be very careful. For instance, c4, then maybe d5 is annoying. Castle. Okay, the king is out of the way. This problem is not here anymore. Here, and of course this square is my pride and joy. I'm very happy about it, so I want to keep it. So queen is coming, and there is also some prospects on this, and here you should probably play something like this, and of course here white is really much better. The queen is trapped, and again the most important thing for white, his aim of all his moves is to keep his advantage. Keep it. Can't say that, stress that enough. Okay, he played knight b4, and we see that none of his pieces are active, so this is sort of doomed to not work. The thing is, I don't really want to have him do this and get it here, even though I think I will have an advantage no matter what happens. It's just not as big as I would like, and you don't want to give him anything if possible. So after knight b4, well, is that really a threat? He's not threatening to take it with the knight, because then rook c1. So this would be a mistake due to this move, right? So what about queen takes? Is that a problem? I decided it was not. I decided that if he takes, and I will just something like this, I'll just go here, and he will have to go back, and I'll go here, and after this, knight d5, and he's busted, to say it. This is also coming, and he's generally being blown away. So this was a sort of a transformation of advantages you could have, and it's very typical for when you have a space advantage. Then you can switch into attacking mode if the opponent gets too cheeky. So instead, he said, okay, I'll try to get rid of it. And now this square is under control. So why not kick it? We kick it. And it goes back. And controlling, he cannot take on d7 due to this problem here. And of course, this square is all important. This is the only source of counterplay. Of course, if you go something like knight f6, you just play h3, and I don't see any counterplay coming anywhere. White is just gonna go something like this, then he might go something like this, but he can also go something like this, and no matter what, it's a horrible for black to play this position. So you're keeping him in, and of course, a move like h3, this move, is very important. Don't let him have any kind of counterplay. Don't let him out. Cannot stress that enough. Okay, rook e8, other rook in. All the pieces are coming here, and again, just keep him locked down. bishop f8. And one thing to notice is white has a very serious and big space advantage here, but his black's position is more pretty solid actually. So he doesn't have weaknesses, and if he's allowed to sort of get his pieces out, he will be fine. But okay, when you have more space, you can actually double rooks, something that black is denied. And this is somehow a horrible move, but I don't think he could find anything else. So I just took here now. Said okay, it's time to get the b6 square with the bishop. He took back. He could take with the queen, but then comes e5, and there's actually no way out of the pin, which is you're just threatening to take and play c5, and I don't know what to do for black. His queen can't hide anywhere. So took with the bishop, and but after this here and e5, and he resigned. The funny thing is that he can't really move, because if he takes, then just this wins material due to the space advantage and the unfortunate position of these pieces here. So this was a typical example of utilizing a space advantage. So what did I do? I kept the advantage. I was very careful not to let black out, and I used sort of when he was trying to break out with getting some counterplay, then the space advantage showed itself as you have more. Your pieces can easily immobilize, so I just could sacrifice the pawn on c2, and it was of course too dangerous to take. So black had to play passively, and white was allowed to use all his pieces to jump on black's position, and black never really found a way to deploy his pieces. And it's kind of a funny end position here, where black just loses a piece due to or loses serious material due to the pin in the d file. I hope you like this short but sweet game and video, and hope to see you back on GM Talks another time. Thank you for watching.